All right. Hello, my people. Welcome back to lovely Flagstaff, Arizona, where we have another foot of snow on the ground. 75-mile-an-hour winds last night. Everybody in town's is out of power. Roads are vacant. Everything's closed. All the grocery stores had a massive rush last night. It's chaos. Utter chaos. It's The Last of Us. It's playing out. Chaos. But seriously, it's been an interesting winter. I've been here for 4 years. This is the first time I feel like we've had a proper winter. You know, I come from a place that's really snowy, so it's not really all that surprising to me. But I was surprised to learn that Flagstaff averages 100 inches of snow a year. You just wouldn't expect that for Arizona. Everyone sort of just thinks that Arizona is Phoenix, and they forget that there is a large portion of Arizona that sits at 7,000 feet up on the Colorado Plateau. So we are having a now officially above average winter. We just crested the 100-inch mark for the year, and we've got a whole heck of a lot of snow in the forecast for next week already. So it just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. Wow. The winter that will not end. So what that means, sadly, is that the bikes are just sitting there in the garage like, please take my cover off and take me out for a ride. They're begging, they're calling, beckoning to me. And I sadly can't really do much. I mean, it's not the cold temps that bother me so much. It's just that the roads are just sheets of ice. And, there's just no way I could take them out. So it really bums me out because I was actually working on something that I was hoping to do literally this week, and it was going to be this really fun project, cool video. So I'm just going to tell you what it was. What I did was I planned a 1,000-mile loop around Arizona that I was going to do on the Himalayan as an IronButt ride. I've always wanted to do that. Been kind of missing the Himalayan a lot. And the route I chose is all paved for the most part. Obviously, it kind of has to be because you got to kind of keep moving. You got to average something like 45 miles per hour or something like that. But it goes through some really pretty parts of Arizona that I haven't seen and stays off the interstates. And so I was really excited to do it. A huge part of it was on Navajo Nation, Hopi Nation. So I still have the route plan. I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see. I think it's going to be really cool. I actually am worried about trying to finish it in 24 hours because some of it is really twisty and curvy. So anyway, long story short is that obviously I'm still going to do it. But given that I have to start in Flagstaff and we have another foot of snow on the ground and it's blowing and disgusting and miserable outside, and we've got snow in the next 10 days, it's not going to happen until at least spring break. So that is something I've got on the plan, on the agenda. I'm looking forward to doing that and sharing that with all of you and documenting the adventure. I've just never tried anything like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. So that's the update from the motorcycle and the weather world. The bikes are sadly going to be in storage for a while. I can't even take my Brompton into work because the roads are such a mess right now. So it's just been, it's been pretty rough. So, but speaking of work, that's the other reason that I haven't really been putting a lot of content up. Just, it's been a really, really busy semester. I've got research projects I'm working on. I've got 15 students I'm working with. I've got classes I'm teaching. And for whatever reason, this semester is just a lot more densely packed is what I'm trying to say. And I've just had a hard time kind of finding time to sit down and come up with fun projects, especially with like my mental motivation of like knowing the bikes are in storage. I'm kind of just like, meh. And then whatever free time I do have, I'm either sleeping or I'm running. I'm training for all these races I got coming up. So it's been really nice that I've been sort of back in the running world, back in the trail world. Really enjoyed it. I mean, I essentially took like over a year off. I mean, I was still running here and there, but I wasn't really like, I didn't have any goal projects. And so it's been really, really nice just getting out there and doing regular like 50 to 60 mile weeks, getting races under my belt. And so let me give you a quick update on that. My training has been going really well. I essentially picked it up in December and now have about two and a half solid months of training, and it just keeps going. And I've got a whole schedule played out all the way through summer, and I've been sprinkling in a bunch of races. And then 3 weeks ago, I had my first 50-kilometer race, which I did in just under 6 hours. It was all on trail, real technical rocky trail down in southern Arizona. It's beautiful. And I did okay. I did well. I felt great. And then just this past weekend, I had my first real big ultra. I had the Black Canyon 100K, so 62 miles I ran. And I had a choice to make during this race. I had two options. I felt really good, really well trained. And so my first option was I could go a little harder and kind of just run race pace and see how well I could do. Or I could run it much more casually, much slower, not risk injuring myself. And I had a whole bunch of my friends coming in from the East Coast that, are sort of generally a little bit slower. And so I could run with them, and it would just be a much more enjoyable day. And so we all ran together for the first 20 miles, and then one group decided to go ahead. And at that moment, I made the decision to hang back with my friends. And so I finished the race. I crossed the finish line 16 hours. I ran the same race in 12 hours a few years ago. So that just gives you some sense of like kind of where I was time-wise. But I don't regret it for a second. I had a blast. It was a great time. I loved it. So glad I went slow and hung out with my friends. And then the best part about it was the next day I had no soreness. I literally went for a run 2 days later because I had no fatigue whatsoever. So just getting miles under my belt. I've got a few more big races coming up in the spring. I've got a 30K. I've got another 50K. I've got a 36 miler. And I'm going to be doing a rim to rim to rim again as well, all to lead me up to the Western States, which is in June. And then, of course, Hard Rock, the big one, the big daddy, in July, which I'm really excited about. So that's the running update. I've told you about the IronButt. I'm looking at my notes here. I did post a video asking what you guys thought about NAZMAT. I got a few responses. I'm still not sure what I want to do. I'm running out of weekends, and it's going to be tight. So, maybe we do something a little bit more informal. And if people want to come, they can come. But it's going to be kind of like, as we say in the running world, a fat ass style, which is sort of like you just kind of take care of yourself, and there's no like official registration, and you just kind of show up and do the routes if you want. But everybody's kind of for themselves, a little bit more unorganized. So I don't know. I'm still trying to decide that one. So that's that. I did have a few things I could update on the bikes, because I know a lot of you watch this content for the bikes. So I ordered a few parts. I got a new shifter coming for the Trail 125, which is just a single front shifter. I know a lot of people love that heel shifter. It's just not my thing. I get it. I get why you like it. But man, every time I stand up on that bike, I hit it with my heel. It just really bothers me. So I'm putting in a hammerhead shifter on that. A few other mods on some things. I did get a new tank bag for the Himalayan, which I'm pretty excited about. I actually recorded a bunch of footage about it, but just haven't put the video together. And I got a new riding backpack also from Moscow Moto. And then lastly, I know a lot of you probably don't really care about this content, but I just wanted to update some of you on the whole Treks to Nowhere initiative that I've been doing. It's getting close, and I'm excited. I've made significant progress on all fronts. So the podcast is almost done. I'm working on episode 17, and there's going to be 21 total episodes. So we've got like 5 left, and I already know what they're all going to be. So it's weird. It's like I'm excited, and it hasn't done amazing. It's definitely gotten a few hundred listens, which is cool. But you know, it's mostly just like a way for me to kind of put it all on record, which I love. I love that there's now an audio record of it. Plus, it's gotten me familiar with how to like record audio and mix tracks and do all that stuff. I mean, I know I'm using GarageBand. This isn't like Pro Tools or something, but it's given me a chance to sort of play with audio editing software and things like that. So yeah, the podcast is almost done. And then the videos are a bit behind. The other channel, you know, it's got like 20 subscribers or something. It's fine. I post the videos on this channel too. So in fact, I've got another one queued up. And then lastly, the text, the book, I'd say is, you know, maybe 65% done-ish. But the important thing is that I finally figured out how I'm going to organize it. That was the biggest thing I was struggling with is, you know, how to kind of arrange the chapters and what the format of those chapters was going to be. And I finally got all that figured out. So like that was a huge deal. And I've downloaded templates, like book templates from like Amazon and stuff. And I've started, you know, playing around with actually putting it into the right format. I figured out what size I'm going to do, like how I'm going to do the photos and things like that, or images. So it's exciting. It's an interesting process. But you know, it's all in my spare time. It's just 10 minutes here or there where I get a few minutes, I'll sit down and I'll write a few paragraphs and yeah, and you know, hopefully I have a completed version, like at least one full completed draft here soon. So anyway, so I've been rambling for a while, but that's the updates. Lots of work, lots of cruddy weather, lots of snow, and just yeah, it's been a wild winter. Interesting side effects from all the snow, like ripping gutters off the house and dealing with things like that. And it's been really, really bad here in Flagstaff. So what else? And then the running is going well. No injuries to report. I found a pair of shoes that I really like. Finally, I have weirdly shaped feet, so it's hard to find good shoes. Found a great pair of trail runners. If you're interested, I run in the Topo Ultra Venture 3s. Amazing shoe. Slightly wider toe box, but a nice drop, not like the Ultras. Great shoe. It's really hard for me to find a shoe I like that doesn't have super pointy toe boxes. So mental note for you runners out there. And that's it. You know, the IronButt Ride, I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on that because I'm super jazzed, and I'll share the GPX route with anybody that wants it. I think it's going to make for a really nice loop. Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks really cool. So that's it. I've got a video I'm working on from some old footage of the Trail 125 on actually like the week that I bought it. And then a Trek to Nowhere video and a couple other things. But yeah, it's kind of light on the motorcycle content right now until the weather clears up. But man, once it does, I'm going to get out on that thing like every day just because I can. Of course, with that said, with all the snow we've had, one last note I'll make is that it's very unlikely that the forest roads are going to open before like May this year, just because there'll be so much snow. So it's good. We need it. We're in a drought here in Arizona, so we need the water, but it is a little bit of a Debbie Downer. So, all right, guys, take care, be safe, and I'll see you shortly. Au revoir.